Good morning. My name is Halona Black. This is our weekly Wednesday AM meditative writing circle where we meet every Wednesday with Black women writers to nurture our writing voices and to talk about what's on our minds for this week. And this week, we're talking about the freedom of being honest with ourselves. I think that's becomes more important as we get older. I think we sort of force ourselves into being more honest with who we are and what it is that we want. And so we're going to write about that today. But first, as we always do, we start off with just a short meditation just to be able to set ourselves into the circle. So if you would like, you can participate. You can leave your video up or close it however you feel comfortable. And I like to just be able to sit up straight, in a space that feels comfortable for you, and leave your feet flat on the floor. I like to take my glasses off. And what we're doing today is we are checking in with how we are feeling. Meditation doesn't always have to be being seated in one spot, so-called trying to force yourself to get quiet, but meditation is also focusing on what is going on within yourself. So if you could just focus on your breathing just for one moment. See where your breathing is. Are you breathing fast or slow? Somewhere in the middle. And notice as you start to look at your breathing that your body also, or it may also start to relax on its own. And you notice the sensation of the breath going in and out of your nose. What does that feel like to you? Can you feel the tiny nose hairs inside of your nose? Just sort of moving around as you're breathing in and out. Notice what your belly is doing as you're breathing in and out. How the movement of your belly moves with the motion of your breath. And when you're ready to, you can open your eyes. So we are talking about the freedom of honesty. And I wanted to pull a poem that I found by one of my teachers. We used another one of his poems a few weeks ago. It's called, excuse me, the most underrated superfood. You should have gotten it in your email. I'll also copy and paste the chat in a minute, but I'm going to read it first, just so you can hear it. It's called, excuse me, the most underrated superfood is an honest life. A life where our being ambles unsuppressed, unhidden, without lies or pretending or editing. This kind of life nourishes our cells better than any green juice ever could. We are made more beautiful by becoming more truthful, made more well, not just by focusing on what we eat, but also by making sure we carry no secrets that are eating at us. And so I thought that this was an interesting poem because when we speak about being well, we often think about, what we eat, what we exercise, all those sorts of things. And it's not that those things aren't important. They certainly are. Um, but being honest with ourselves. And so to take a few moments to talk of all about what it is that we want in life. So your first question is, what is something you secretly want, but have convinced yourself is impossible? What is something you secretly want, but have convinced yourself is impossible? Right, that was 5 minutes. So the question is, what is something you secretly want, but have convinced yourself is impossible? Would anyone like to share? You can share what it is that you've written, or you can just sort of give the general spirit of what it is that you've written down. That's also fine too. Everybody's quiet today?
I'll go. This is Clara. Um,
Sarah?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm enjoying these sessions, and I really like the way you to start off with the word being honest,
Mhm.
because that made me almost like, let me turn this off. Not today, because that's, deep. So anyway, I'm gonna share. I have convinced myself, and one of my besties on this Zoom knows it. I have convinced myself that I will never um, meet the other side of my family because I never met my father. So I've
Mhm.
convinced myself that will never happen. And so
Mhm.
I'm um, processing that, and it's
Yeah.
fresh. It's
Mhm.
fresh.
Wow. It's impossible. Do you want to believe that is still impossible?
No. I almost was gonna say something else, but that this is more deep. Um,
Mhm.
I I believe it's impossible that I would meet him, but I think it's
Mhm.
possible that maybe I could meet relatives because of
Yeah.
my age. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. Would anyone else like to share what they wrote or what they're thinking about?
Hi, good morning, ladies. Yes, I'd like
Good
to
morning.
share.
Yeah.
I, one of the things I always thought would be impossible is for me to retire before 65. I always thought I would have to go until such time from my present employment. But
Mhm.
I've had a mind shift change, and I'm hoping to retire next year when I'll be 57. And I'm definitely working towards that, and I'm looking forward to that.
Good
So
for
that
you.
was always a big thing for me. I always thought I would have to go until 65, but I'm not going to.
Mhm. Good for you. That's
I won't go
wonderful to
too
be able
much
to
into
retire
it,
early.
but
Mhm.
following up on that, that's similarly what I wrote. So it's exciting to hear that you're actually able to accomplish that.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm determined to do so. Yeah.
Mhm. Awesome. Anyone else care to share? We can hear from a couple of other people. If not, we can go on to our next question. Let me see, the next question. Um, in what ways have you outgrown the version of yourself that others expect you to be? In what ways have you outgrown the version of yourself that others expect you to be? All right, question number 2. In what ways have you outgrown the version of yourself that others expect you to be? I'd love to hear what you all think.
I'll go first. This is Sharon. I looked
Good
at it
morning,
from,
Sharon.
good morning, everybody. I looked at it from my family perspective. And so I used to be the little child that was afraid of everything and went along with everything. And as I've grown, and even in my own self, I don't necessarily always go along anymore. I stand for what I stand for. I disagree sometimes, and before I would concede in, but now it's like, no, this is what I believe. We both can be right, but you won't persuade me. So I think that's a big thing, especially in the family. I was the middle. So, I got the older and the younger. So right in the middle. So now I understand.
Excellent. I love that. So you no longer are swayed by other people's opinions. You can stand up on your own. That's important to know. Anyone else? Thank you, Sharon.
I'll go.
Sakai,
I was
yeah.
hello. I was thinking when I first heard it, and I got an awareness immediately. I am the others. It's not even other people's perceptions. It's my own projecting what they may think. So my growth is I can see that. I'm aware and I'll say, what are you doing? It makes no sense. I would I have things that I want to do, but then I'll just be talking to someone and I said, well, I can do this. Or why don't we just throwing myself off track? But anyway, from that, I wrote this: growing like a shoot from under the earth, sprouting forward, pushing through the soil of others, mainly my composted projections, mineralizing myself, reaching for the sun of my hopes, solar reachings, reflections, restoration, basking in the sun.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love how you can just come up with poetry at the drop of a hat.
I'm grateful.
I love it. That's beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
yes, I agree with you. I think I do the same thing. You think that you know what the other person is going to say, and so you work yourself into a circle trying to please what you think other people are going to say instead of just going with yourself and realizing that, I think most people would probably just sort of allow you to be who you are when you allow yourself to be who you are. Thank you, Sakai.
My pleasure.
I'd like to share.
Yes, Miss Carolyn.
I've outgrown the need to be the peacemaker, the fixer, the problem solver, the one to come to when times are bad. I now need to be at peace, be fixed, solve my own problems, and the one to come to for a good time. That's it.
So no more fixing everybody else's stuff.
No, absolutely not.
You can fix your stuff and then we can go out and have a good time, but that's it.
Gotta do it.
That is important, especially when you've made a pattern. If you've made a pattern like that in your life, that can be hard to break. At least for me, I found, because I think I had gotten used to the feeling of being needed.
Mhm.
And then when you need something, everybody's busy.
Scattered. Yeah.
Everybody's busy or incapable of helping you.
Well, I stood in my own way of breaking the habit because I wanted to be a good person. But now I'm a good person anyway. I have to prove it.
Yes, no more proving energy. I love that. I certainly feel that as I get older. I don't have to prove anything. Just no, I'm not going to participate, and that's it.
Mhm. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carolyn.
Hi, this is
Anyone
Claire.
else?
Let me
Yes.
piggyback after Carolyn. It's like ditto for sure. And the first word I put was fixer. Trying to do it all for everybody, give them 200%. And I think I mentioned last week being the glue, always keeping groups together and things like that. And it's not to say that I can't do it, but I think I told my family for the first time, I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm putting myself first. What do I need to do? I need to heal. I mentioned last week, I'm an encourager. And I thought, well, who's going to encourage me? And I do have encouragers. I did find out I do have encouragers. So that was beautiful to find that out. But I can no longer give 200% to everybody because then there's nothing left for me. So people got to learn to stand up on their own 2 feet and figure out some things for themselves. But I still am supportive, but not to the degree that I used to be.
Also, may I add to that?
Yes.
Also, when I do it a lot, and when I do that, I realize much later in my quest to serve, I'm serving the wrong ones. I'm not serving the ones I was divinely called to serve because I took it upon myself to whoever's around. Let me do this to serve, in a selfish kind of way, really. So we're missing out on the ones we're divinely appointed to serve.
Because you spend so much of your energy scattered in other places. That's wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else?
Just a really quick statement. I have found that after all the supportive and doing for others and being the fixer, being the glue, often at the end of the day, they don't even remember or appreciate. And so that is that just has happened in my life. So I've learned to be maybe supportive, but not at my detriment.
People pleaser burnout.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that getting mad when people don't reciprocate what you feel like you've given them, because they didn't ask. A lot of times, at least in what I'm talking about, they didn't ask for your help or your support. I was always doing it from having to prove my worthiness or my love for another person. But yeah, that's also something I had to learn how to get rid of. So yeah, the expectation that it will be reciprocated is important to understand.
And it really burns when they say, well, I didn't ask you. Yeah. So you say in your mind, well, wasn't that rich? Let me look at myself here now.
And see, that
Can't get
goes
it
to
mad at
the,
anybody but yourself.
I was just going to say, that goes to the honesty
Who was
part.
saying something? Is my screen freezing? Can you see me?
I can see
I
you.
can see you.
I can see.
Did Cynthia freeze? Because I didn't know if she finished.
No, I started to say something, but Halana started speaking, so I just held back. And I don't know.
Oh.
Um, I was just actually just adding to what you said, Carolyn,
Mm,
about that looking at ourselves. That speaks to the honesty piece. I think she dropped off. Yeah, oh no, she's there. But
yes.
I just wanted to say, being honest with ourselves and looking at, hey, they didn't even ask. That speaks deeply to being honest. So
Mhm.
just
And
piggybacking off of
yeah,
a previous statement.
yeah. Some people don't even have appreciation in their bones. And
Correct.
when you expect people to treat you the way you treated them, that's where the pain could come in, you know,
Hmm.
because a
Hmm.
lot of times they won't.
And the lack of empathy. Um,
Mm.
Oftentimes, folks, there's no empathy. And what's really sad about it is frequently it's our family members, those
Family.
we are in relationship with.
Mhm.
And that's what makes
I
it
didn't want to
even more
call
hurtful.
the member out, but yeah,
Hmm.
reflecting, it was a family member who said that,
Hmm. Hmm.
a close one I gave birth to.
Hello.
I'm like, wait a minute. How many times have I said to myself in this lifetime, did I actually manifest that through my body? What happened? I haven't figured that out yet. How you can manifest an individual. I know individuals are different, but to be so spiritually disconnected, I don't get it. It's a mystery of life.
Once again, this goes to um, they don't even remember the
Mhm.
sacrifices, what was done. Um, that's usually oftentimes the group of folks who don't even remember or appreciate. So I can definitely relate.
Mhm.
I agree. All right. Let's see. Question number 3. What is one way you can affirm your worth today? What is one way you can affirm your worth today? All right, so the question is, what is one way you can affirm your worth today?
This is Monica. Um, so
Yes,
just
Monica.
thank Carolyn and all for Carolyn and Cynthia for the previous discussion. And I hope I was saying I3. I hope that wasn't shared differently. So one way to confirm, and thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure, everybody. One way to affirm your work today is that I do is through I am affirmation. And so I'll do some at the moment. I am the root of self. I am the magician. I am anointed. I am abundance. I am whole. I am seen. I am healthy. I am honest. I am confident. I am worthy. And on and on. And thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you.
This is
I
Sharon
love it. I
again.
love it.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
go ahead.
Sharon, yeah.
I have to piggyback after Monica. That was one of my words in my I ams too. And then I also said that to be unique, authentic to who I am. Back to that again. But yeah, and just showing it too, not just being who I am and being authentic and unique in who I am. Just trusting and knowing my purpose too, knowing what I am called to do, not what anybody says, but what I am. So I just love this writing circle and just being around other women that can express. So thank you, Ella. Thank you for this time.
You're very welcome, Sharon. I'm glad you can be here this morning.
I'd like to share.
Yes.
I said less busyness. Can't read my writing here. Oh, don't be owned by my modern day handler, the cell phone. Consciously breathe throughout the day, walk outside, look up into the sky during the day, in the cosmos during the night, see the stars, meditate, close my eyes that I may see, prioritize my calendar, do what I have to do, but then let it go. Be available for life, miracles, light, refreshings, and surprisings to show up as I go. And that's what I plan to do today. That's my dream for the day.
May I ask her to put that in the chat? That was beautiful. I'm just asking.
Sure, I'll write it. I wanted to say to the sister who, Monica, it might be long. I would love to have that affirmation that you shared. That was beautiful. And I want to say that when you shared it, it wasn't just words. It was coming straight from your spirit, like real. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. It's just made in the spirit of this group. So thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Yes,
I loved how
that phone.
Yeah, I loved how Sakai, how you said the modern day handler. That is a great assessment because it handles us, and I have to work at not letting it handle me. So that was really good. That was good.
Hey, this is Claire. This is something I got as a gift, but I had requested it. And just to add to the affirmations, I haven't put it up, but I've got a bunch of posters. I don't know if you can see, and it says things like, I am fierce, unique, sensational, bold, kind, resilient, fearless, darling, wise, and it goes on and on, but it says, God says I am. And then they all say something like that. God says I'm unique and special and lovely and precious. So I plan to, hang that up so I can constantly see that. But I'll be honest with you, what I wrote was, I realize in my mind and spirit, I no longer need to affirm my worth to anyone on this earth. I will continue to always do the best that I can and offer the best of me in all areas of my life and all the areas that I'm in, because I said I answer to the Father in heaven, and his word is my standard for living. All things on this earth will pass away. But while I'm here, I will continue to serve and encourage others.
I love that. Thank you.
May I share?
Yes, Miss Carolyn.
I'm going to affirm my worth today by heading out to Queens and doing what I love doing most. I'm going to teach senior citizens about their heart health. I affirm my health daily by engaging in what I want to do when I want to do it. Laughing, eating a good meal, and keeping my headspace uncluttered is my ultimate joy.
I love to hear everybody's affirmations.
Mm.
I love to hear them. Listening to you all and what you're thinking and what you are writing, honestly, it feeds my soul. And it tells me that I am on the right path by creating spaces such as this, so that women like ourselves can sit. It affirms me to watch you affirm yourself, and we all affirm ourselves. It's like a back and forth process. So I appreciate you all. Anyone else wanted to share in our last couple of minutes before we close? You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I love that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she has cards too, affirmation cards.
That's a wonderful book. If anyone has not read it before, I would also recommend it.
Mm-hmm. And it's in audio book form on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pronounce your name? Is your name Fata? Fata Carva. She says, I am definitely grateful for this space. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm happy that you are here. All right, well, we will go ahead and close the circle for today as we are close to the top of the hour. Thank you all so much for coming in. I apologize for the issues with, I don't know what happened to the link this morning. It was having problems with recording. I don't know, Zoom must be trying to update itself today. So hopefully the recording and everything will work out. I always put the recordings on YouTube if you want to watch the replay. And for those of you who are watching the replay on YouTube, you are welcome to join us live in the group on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until next week, I will see you all later. Thank
I
you so
want to
much.
say one thing. I was trying to
Yeah.
put what I wrote in the chat, but I moved the phone and I lost it. So I'll share it next time.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Sakai.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
all for being so gracious. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
will
Halona, because the
Bye.
prompts you give,
Thanks,
so
Halona.
powerful. The prompts you give really take us places. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. I do. I spend time trying to put all of this stuff together.
See,
It
It's
takes time.
appreciated. It's appreciated.
Thank
We
you.
can tell.
Yes.
Peace, my sisters.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Have a beautiful day.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Good
take
day,
care.
everybody.
Day.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you all.